Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the start of a new vlog. It is currently the 4th of May and I've already finished a book that was on my TBR for the month of May. It's quite a small book. It was a book that I had on my April TBR, but I didn't quite get round to it, so I said that I wanted to read it first in the month of May. I've already read the first book in the series. The very first book was called Accidental Marriage and it's by Iris Beaglehole and it's part of the Myrtlewood Mysteries series. I rated this book a 5-star and I had it as one of my top first ones for the quarter of 2026. Absolutely loved it. It was a cosy witchy book. And even though it had got that witchy element to it, it had also got a murder mystery that was going on throughout the book as well. It had such humour in the book between the main character, the mom, and the other main character, her daughter. So the mom's called Rosemary, her daughter's called Athena. They hadn't really had an easy ride in life, and then Rosemary got called back to the village of Myrtlewood because her granny had died. Her granny was called Granny Thorne. It turned out her granny was murdered, and then they were trying to solve the mystery of this. As well as it being the mystery, it did have really good humour in the book as well, especially between the mom and the daughter, and between the mom and the granny. And you're probably thinking, well, how did that happen if the granny had been murdered? But she was a witch. She does keep coming back in the books as well. Now, in the first book, Rosemary learns that there's a whole other side to her life that was kind of kept hidden from her. And in this second book, she's kind of finding more out about her powers, her daughter's powers, and the new world that she's just had her eyes open to. Because I loved the first book so much, I wanted to make sure that I read the second book in the series. There's quite a few books in the series. I'll have a look, see how many there is. According to Amazon, there's 9 books in the series altogether. I've just finished reading the second book. I've already got the third book downloaded. I've just switched my camera around a little bit, still a bit bright by the window. In this book, I think what changed for me was, now I said that I really enjoyed the first 40%. The second 40% was mainly, I didn't enjoy it because the way Athena kept speaking to her mother. I know she's a teenage girl and they're supposed to have these attitudes and etc. But the way she kept saying things to her mom, I just thought, I would never dream of talking to my parents like that. I don't know. For me, I just kept thinking, if that was my child, I'd soon have something to say to them. I don't know if Rosemary was too soft or maybe I'm too hard, but I had 2 boys. My 2 boys were so laid back when they were growing up. They're still laid back now, and I think they would never talk to me like that. And I'd never, if they tried to, I wouldn't let them talk to me like that. And I think that's why when it was going through the book and it was happening, I just kept thinking, that's so rude. I kept thinking, I hope to think if I had a teenage daughter, she would never speak to me like that. And I just didn't like how that dynamic changed. It was such a nice relationship in the first book. And then this book, when it changed to that, I just kept thinking, whew, you're going to let her get away with that. Thankfully though, in the last part of the book, like I say, the last 20%ish, the relationship to me went back to similar to how it was. And a lot more things were explained. And it brought it. It started off really good, brought it down and then brought it back up. At the moment, I would probably say about a 4-star, but I'll see how I'll think about it and see what I finally rate it when it comes to the end of the month. There is another series that Iris Beaglehole has written, very similar. It's still Myrtlewood, but it's called, let me bring it up on my phone. I'm sure it's Myrtlewood Crones. I'll double check. Myrtlewood Crones, yeah. Now somebody recommended these to me and said that they were really good. When I've looked, it says, why don't more 60-something-year-olds get to have fun, magical adventures? So I think it's focused more on the older generation, but still in the magical village, the magical town of Myrtlewood. Altogether, there's 6 books in this series. And they are part of my Kindle Unlimited. I don't know how long I'll be keeping that Kindle Unlimited. So I kind of think, well, while they're free or while they're included in that, surely it would make sense to read those books first, or at least read the first one, see what I think of it. If I'm not as keen on it, I can go back to the other Myrtlewood Mysteries book. If I do like the Myrtlewood Crones book, I can kind of get my money's worth, read the 6 books in that series. That's my thinking at the moment. Not 100% sure what I'll do. I'm still digesting what my thoughts were on the second Myrtlewood Mysteries book was so far. So I've already finished that first book, and then I thought, because I quite like to change the genres after I finish reading one book, have something a little bit different. I've gone on to one of my books on my TBR for the month of May, which was John Marr's You Killed Me First. Let me have a look. It's on my Kindle. I started it last night. Just wait for my Kindle to warm up. Right, I'm sure it's called, yeah, it's called You Killed Me First. I'm currently 10% of the way through. I said when I picked this book to be read for this month, I've never read anything by John Marrs. So far, I'm really enjoying his writing style. Now, with this book, what we've got are 3 main characters, and it tells you on the back of the book that on the, is it 5th of November? On the 5th of November, one of them wakes up and she's in the middle of a bonfire, about to be murdered. And we don't know which one of those 3 characters are in the bonfire. So that's what you get on the back of the book, and you also get it in the very first few pages of when you're reading the book. Then what it does is it takes you back 11 months when you're first introduced to those 3 characters, and I presume over those 11 months you find out the drama that's happening between those 3 people, and then you find out eventually which one of them it is at the bottom of this bonfire. So far, what I can gather, the premise is that there's 2 people that already live on the street, and then one person has just moved into the street. Now, there's a couple of things that I'm really enjoying about this book so far. One, John Marr's writing style is so easy to read. I've got a feeling it's going to end up quite dramatic, but the style of the book so far is really easy to digest. The second thing that I'm really enjoying about the book is that we're getting the 3 different people's point of view. So at the beginning of a chapter, it'll say the person's name, and you know that that's their point of view for that chapter. The chapters aren't long chapters either, and sometimes when you get a book that's from different people's point of view, when it switches POVs, you find that the story can be repeated quite a lot of the time. I know I'm only 10% of the way in, but I'm not getting that feeling so far. I'm enjoying it. Considering it is only 10% of the way in, I am enjoying the book. I already feel hooked by it. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. I don't think it'll take me long to read this book at all. So far, my first experience of John Marrs is going very well. The last reading update I've got is about my audiobook. If you're new to my channel, I have to be quite selective with my audiobooks. I'm not good if an audiobook is complicated, if it's from different people's point of views and it keeps switching, because my mind does wander very easily. And I find books like that, if when you're listening to, if you miss a little bit, it's hard to pick it back up again. I find those type of books I'm better off reading because I'm a lot more engaged in the book than when I've got an audiobook. That being said, I found a really good series by the author Fiona Leach, and they're all to do with like Cornish murder mysteries. You've got a main character called Jodie Parker, but her nickname is Jodie Nosy Parker because she gets involved in everything. The narrator of these books is absolutely fantastic. So far, I'm on the 6th book in the series, and the 6th book is called, let me bring it up on my Spotify, A Cornish Seaside Murder. Currently, I'm about halfway through. I've got 3.5 hours left to listen. Now, in these books, they're definitely character-driven books. You get to meet the characters right in the first book, and a lot of the characters continue as you work your way through the series. They're nice, heartwarming characters to get to know. The humour that's involved in these books is really good as well. There is always a murder mystery in each one. The murder mystery is kind of like second, and it is a cosy murder mystery. There's no gore, no excessive details or anything like that. Like I say, it's more so getting to know the characters and the plot of it rather than the murders themselves. So far in this book, somebody has now been murdered. Jodie is trying to solve it. She is actually a chef. She used to be a police officer, but then kept getting involved in different things. So even though she left the police force, she became a chef. Since she moved back to Cornwall and she was still getting involved in the murders, the police have kind of took her on a bit like a consultant. It's not called a consultant, but it's a bit like that. She doesn't work for them full time, but as and when they need her, because she does have good gut instincts and good insights from when she used to do the police before, they do call her in to help for certain cases. At the moment, she's trying to navigate being a chef, running that business, and also helping the police out. You've still got that brilliant relationship between Jodie and her mother, who is absolutely hilarious. There's her daughter as well, and it's a nice relationship with that. And the DCI, who is now her boyfriend. It sounds serious. It's really not. It's just a perfect, heartwarming, easy book to listen to. That's it then, that's all my reading updates for now. What I'm going to do, for those of you that don't know, I do have a colouring YouTube channel as well. My plan this morning then is to get some colouring done, and I'm going to listen to some more of the audiobook, because with the colouring I put like instrumental music over the top of it, so I can listen to an audiobook and it doesn't affect the recordings that I put out at all. In case you've never seen it, this is my colouring setup. So if I just go around here, those are all my pens there. As you can see, that was the stack of books that I just had you resting on. Though I've got some of my colouring books there. Those are all my Ohuhu pens. And I've got some more of the colouring books there on my shelves. So my plan is I'd like to do a couple of colouring videos, get them edited, ready to upload to YouTube, and whilst I'm listening to my audiobook. Once I've done that, I'll probably do a bit of tidying around the house and then get into my John Miles book, because I can't wait to carry on with that. So far, I'm really intrigued by it. Oh, one thing I did want to show you. If you're into stationery, I had this delivery the other day. It's from an artist called Emily Harvey. She also has a YouTube channel as well. The work that she produces is beautiful. She's very into lilac, so even though I'm very into pink, she's very into lilac. But lilac still goes really well in my office. She had a sale on not so long back, so I bought a few items from her. I bought this little notepad. I can never have enough notepads. I'm always jotting things down. So I love it with the little cowboy boots. The quality of the paper is brilliant as well. I bought some bookmarks from her. This square notepad. You don't see square notepads very often. And I thought, oh, that'll look lovely on my work desk. That one says Dreamer across the top as well. She's just done a Kickstarter for a lilac journal. It looks amazing. I'm sure it's an A4 lilac journal. And I did subscribe for this Kickstarter. I'm sure the Kickstarter is now finished, but when my journal does come through, I'll definitely show you. I thought for that journal, I could put all my YouTube ideas in there. That's what I'd like. I just think, oh, what a beautiful book to pick up to make notes in. But these are just going to look absolutely beautiful on my desk. So I'm going to put these out, get some colouring done, listen to my audiobook, and generally just have quite a chilled day. I said at the beginning of the video it was the 4th of May. It's actually bank holiday here in the UK, so I don't have work. Therefore, I can just colour, listen to audiobooks, read to my little heart's content. I'll catch up with you soon when I do have another update for you. Bye. Hiya, welcome back to the vlog. It is now the 6th of May, so it's Wednesday. Wednesdays I have off work. Today so far, all I've done really is take the dog for a long walk, and then I popped to the local shopping centre. I wanted some bread. I just keep dreaming of a bacon French stick. So I've got the bacon in the oven now. I bought the French stick. I went to Marks and Spencer's. If you're not from England, Marks and Spencer's is one of those places where you can get clothes, you can get home items, but you can also get groceries. They do the best groceries. The French stick that they do is so chewy and oh, it's lovely. So it's worth going all the way down to Merry Hill just to get the French stick. I did get a few other things. They do these ciabattas. just in case you're interested in what food I got when I was down there. They do these ciabatta rolls. They are delicious. I like those with bacon and cheese, or sometimes tuna and cheese. So I got quite a few of those. And I've been dreaming of chocolate biscuits, so I went and got some chocolate biscuits from there. They also do this. They also do this nicest chocolate I've ever eaten. That's what it looks like. And in it, it's got salted blonde chocolate, pistachios, shortbread and cornflakes. If you do have a Marks and Spencer's by you and you want a nice chocolate to try this. It is delicious. And I got a pie for tea as well. Anyway, enough about my food. I just thought while the bacon's cooking, I'll quickly grab my camera and give you a reading update. So my audio book that I'm on, which is the Fiona Leach book from the Jodie Parker series, the one that I've been listening to for quite a while now. I've nearly finished that book. I've got an hour and a half left. The book that I'm listening to is book 6 and it's A Cornish Seaside Murder. It's good. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it just like I've enjoyed all the others. I knew I would. They're just a nice, safe, reliable, cosy mystery book that you know that you're going to enjoy. I imagine I'll probably finish that book by the weekend anyhow. When I take Ghost for his walks, that's usually when I pick up my earphones and listen to the book. I've just noticed it even says on here, a laugh out loud cosy Cornish mystery to solve, and it is. Are you one of these that when you read a book or you listen to a book, do you try and think of who the murderer is or who the guilty party is? I don't. I literally just go along for the ride. When I say I don't think when I read or don't think when I listen to audiobooks, I genuinely mean my brain switches off. I just listen to the words. I don't go in advance and try and think, oh, I think they're guilty because they said this, they're guilty because of this. I literally, when the murder is revealed, it's a surprise to me like it always is, because I just don't think. I literally just listen and enjoy the story as we're going through it. So the book that I'm reading on my Kindle is by John Marrs and it's called You Killed Me First. I've said before, this is the first John Marrs book I've ever read. I will read more of his books. I'm currently 68% of the way through. My impressions on this book so far is that I'm sure in the future I will be reading more of John Marrs' work. I'm really enjoying it. I love the different point of views. I like how clear the point of views are and how when we do go to a different point of view, it's not repetitive. We've got the 3 main characters. We've got Margot, Liv and Anna. And whenever it changes to any of those point of views, it's not repeating what the other one's already said or what the other one's already seen. It makes it quite enjoyable and not repetitive at all. Already there's been quite a few twists and they just seem to come out of nowhere. I'm reading and then it says something in a sentence and I'm like, let me read that again. Did I read that correctly? And I read it and I'm like, wow, I did not expect that. It's really good. I've still no idea who was in that bonfire at the end, but like I say, I don't tend to try and work out the end plot anyway. I do just enjoy the story as I'm going through it. Again, I reckon within the next day or two, I'll have finished that book as well. And as yet, yeah, I am enjoying it. Just going to turn my bacon off because it is cooked now, but there is something I can't wait to show you. I'll come and eat that in a minute. Look, a ghost. Can you see him? He knows the oven door's open and he's come to have a good sniff. Like, Mum, what are you cooking? Hello, handsome. What are you doing? I bought him a new toy back when I come from shopping. So he's been playing with that. Loves it. Okay then, so the really exciting thing that I wanted to show you is that I've had a delivery from Waterstones. Can you guess what it is? Let me open it up. We'll open it together. I hope it's as good as I think it is. What do you want? This cardboard's not for you. Look at that. Look at the sprayed edge. Can you see it? Let me move my head and hopefully it'll focus on it. Look at that. And what I love about these books is that dog, well, it's not a dog, is it? It's a dire wolf. I know it's a girl in this book, but it reminds me so much of my dog Ghost. I have tried and tried to get the first book, Diabound, but Waterstones don't have it available at the moment. But there was a box where it said notify me when back in stock, so I put my name in there. I don't know if it will come back in stock. I'm hoping it will, but I put my details in anyway, so if it does, they'll notify me and I'll buy it. It's even got a map. I love a map. What else have they got? Let's take the sleeve off. I'll show you inside the sleeve in a minute. So they've got the map there. Oh, they've got, I think it's the same map here. The same map on the back. Oh, look how beautiful that is. And then, oh, this is the sleeve. Look at that. It's too good to be wrapped around the book, isn't it? That is stunning. I am over the moon with this. Let's put the cover back on. As you know from my previous videos, I've already completed my TBR for the month of May, and I did have on there the next book in the series following on from Fourth Wing. I didn't originally anticipate on buying this book, but once I saw the sprayed edge, I just couldn't resist it. As this is a new release and I read the original book, I'm sure it was when I was on holiday back in November, I think I'm going to change the order in which I read the books. I think I'm going to do this book, Fury Bound, this month, and then start the Iron Flame next month, or when this book has finished it anyway. I adored the first book. I don't want to leave it any longer. So I think that's going to be my plan. How can I not though? Look at it. Oh, that's going to be so beautiful on my shelf. I've been thinking about my shelves and the books, and I really want to pretty it up. I don't know what I'm going to end up doing. After I've eaten my lunch, after I've eaten my bacon baguette, I am going to go into my office. I need to do another colouring picture for my colouring channel, so I'll get that done first. And then I want to have a good look at my office and just give it a good sort out. There's so much paperwork, there's so many books and files in there that are from work. I want to have a good look and see what do I actually need, where can I save some space. Oh, another thing with this book is it costs £22, and if you spend with Waterstones under £25, you have to pay for delivery. And I don't know why, I hate paying for delivery. I kind of scour the shop, because if I spent over £25, I'd get free delivery. So I scoured through the shop online. I was thinking, well, what else could I buy to take me over £25 and then I don't have to pay the delivery? I know that it's still the same amount of money going out my bank, but when you're paying for delivery, or you can spend a little bit more, get free delivery, and then get something else for your money as well, I kind of think, well, why not? And in my room, I love my little knickknacks and my cute little things. And I saw this and I thought, well, this would look beautiful on the shelf. It was actually, I think it was £8. I ended up getting 10% off, so it did cost me over £25 altogether, but at least I got the delivery free. That's all that matters, isn't it? Let's open it up. I thought it looked so cute. Oh, it's soft. Oh, look at that. It's a little rainbow. How cute is that? That's going to look so cute on my shelf. It's called a Palm Pal. Collect them all. Oh, it's like a beanie. It's got some beads in it. Look at how cute that is. That will look adorable. They've got quite a few online. There was loads I could have bought. But I just thought, well, if ever I'm in the same situation again, instead of having to pay for delivery, I'll spend a bit more, but actually get a little soft toy for my shelf as well. Okay, that's all the updates that I've got for now. I'm going to eat my lunch and then go in my office and get sorted in there what I need to for the day. Catch up with you all again very soon. Hey everyone, so it's been a few days since I last did an update. It is now Sunday the 10th of May. Oh, Ghost is bringing me his toys. He's got this squeaky toy keeps bringing me to throw. So yeah, it's now the 10th of May. I haven't done a reading update for a couple of days. I have been reading though. I have now finished the John Marrs You Killed Me First book. really good. I did enjoy it. 100% I will read more of John Marr's book. One thing I will say, check your trigger warnings before you read it. There is a scene in there that I can imagine can be quite sensitive. So yeah, definitely check your trigger warnings before. But the rest of the book, absolutely brilliant. The twists in it, literally, it just, I think I said in the last update how it kept twisting, but it did literally right up until the very last page. You just didn't know which one of the three was guilty, which one of the three was going to be in the middle of the bonfire. It literally all the way through, right up until the very last page, it was good. 100% I'll read more of John Marr's. I've had somebody recommend a Chris Carter book to me as well. I'm quite tempted to read one of those. The trouble is, you read one, you find a new author that you like, and there's just not enough hours in the day to read everything that they've done. I think what I'm going to do, rather than commit myself and kind of say I'm going to read all of John Marr's work, I'll just have a look at the write-up, like the blurbs on the book off Amazon, just see what it says, and then judge it from there. Because some books, especially like if it involves, I'm not saying John Marr's does, I haven't looked into it, I don't know what this piece of hair is doing, but some books, like if it involves missing children or something like that, I'm not good with books like that. I won't tend to read them, so I'll have a good look anyway and see which ones I want next. But there's so many books out there, isn't there, that's really good that you do want to read. Once I had finished the John Marr's book, I wanted something a bit lighter, a little bit more with humour in, and I chose the Pie and Mash Detective Agency. Is that what it's called? It's definitely Pie and Mash. I've got my Kindle next to me. Let's have a look. What's it called? Yes, it is the Pie and Mash Detective Agency. I'm currently 44. Let me move my clicker. Yeah, 44% of the way in. I'm really enjoying this as well. I knew I'd pick some good books for the month of May. With this one, you've got a couple. Oh, I forgot their first names already, but the surnames are Pie and Mash, and that's why they kind of come up with that name for the detective agency. They join a detective, how to train to be a detective group, and basically the person who runs the group doesn't have much faith in this couple in solving a crime. What they have to do is to pass the course, he gives out as kind of coursework an old case that they have to solve, and with Pie and Mash, he doesn't have much faith in them being able to complete this course, and it gives them a case that so far hasn't been solved. So at the moment they're just working their way through that. But with this book, it is a case that's been going on for decades. It tells you this on the back of the book, and you do have multiple timelines. It keeps going back. I'm sure it's 1997, so you've got the present day and you've got 1997. But the book makes it very clear which timeline you're in, so you don't get confused at all. But each time you do go back and then come into the future, it is all adding to the story. The humour between them is good. The humour between Pie and Mash, like the couple, it is good. Especially Mash, he's so dry, and he's a bit like, he just wings his way through things. Pie, I'm sure, is it Jane? I can't remember. The woman in the relationship, she's kind of like the nerdy one, the one that when they go to classes takes all the notes, does all the research. You get the feeling that Mash is there just to keep Pie happy. But so far it is a good read. It is very humorous. I'm enjoying it. I don't know if there is any more books in this series. I'll have to have a look. Let me see who the actual author is. I'm sure it's J.D. Brinksworth. You know me and my memory. Let's have a look. Oh, I got it right. J.D. Brinkworth. So that's the current author. According to this on Amazon, it's only got a 3.5-star rating. But so far, I think it's quite good. But there's still over half the book to go, so we'll see how we get on with it. I've decided that once I've finished this book, I am going to start Direwolf. No, it's not Direwolf, is it? Furybound, instead of the second Fourth Wing book. I'm just itching to read it, and you know when you're reading a book but in the back of your mind you've still got how you want to read a different book. So I think, yeah, once I finish this I am going to just jump into Furybound, because I'm getting FOMO. If I read online that anybody else has completed it and said anything about it, I'm like, I want to know what's going on in that book. I'll keep this vlog going until I finish this Pie & Mash Detective Agency book, and then I would have read, I think, 3 books in this vlog, and I'm sure within the next day or two I should have finished this book. I need to go sort my hair out. It's lunchtime. All I've done today is I've took Ghost for a long walk. I've done some washing, cut my grass. All I ever do is cut my grass, isn't it? So I've cut my grass, and I've got lasagna in the oven. Take about a half hour. So my plan is to sit here. I do have my cup of coffee. So I'm going to sit here, have my cup of coffee, half hour reading my book, and then go and have my lunch. Sounds like a good Sunday to me. Catch in with you again soon. Morning. Right then, so we've got the last update of this week's reading vlog. Last night I finished the J.D. Brinkworth book, Pie & Mash Detective Agency. I enjoyed it. It is a good book. Overall, I think I'm going to rate it a 4-star. I'm going to think about it a bit more, and you'll know when I do my reading wrap up at the end of the month. But yeah, I think a 4-star is fair. So when I last spoke to you, I think I was 44% of the way through the book, so nearly half of the way through. Did quite a bit of reading yesterday. I didn't have much planned Sunday afternoon, and I literally spent hours just sitting in my egg chair reading my book. Oh, it was wonderful. I can't remember if I said when I mentioned I was going to read this book as part of the reading vlog, but what you've got Jane Pye, and you've got, I'm sure it's Simon Mash. They're a couple, they live together. Jane is struggling with work at the moment, so to keep herself active she joins a class where you can learn to be a detective, and I think to keep her company Simon goes along with her because he's already got a job anyhow. In the class you've got Jane, who's very studious because she really does want to learn it. Then you've got Simon, who's kind of going along for the ride, and he's quite jokey, quite jovial. Now, in order to pass this class, at the end of all the lessons, they get given a case that they have to solve. And it turns out that they're given the case of Nellie Thorne. And what's strange about Nellie Thorne is this Nellie Thorne has gone missing. But when you look back in history, she's gone missing several times. So it's kind of like, well, who on earth is Nellie Thorne? Why do Nellie Thornes keep going missing over time? And to me, the plot of it was quite unique. I've not read a book where you've actually got someone who's gone missing with the same name, but has gone missing under the same kind of circumstances over the last 40 years, I think. And this is not a spoiler, it does tell you about this on the back of the book anyhow. So Jane and Simon are given this case, and they kind of go blundering their way through trying to solve it. I like the fact that it got different timelines. You've got Jane and Simon's timeline, which is the current, which is the present day. But it also goes back in time, I'm sure, to 1997. But I won't tell you whose timeline that is because I don't want to spoil anything in the book for you. But overall, it was an enjoyable read. I did find it fun. I found it humorous. The only criticism, really, I could probably give is that the book was probably just a little bit too long. It felt as though in some parts I was a bit like, okay, let's start to get some answers. Rather than all these questions, let's start to actually get somewhere in the case. Maybe that was me being impatient. Maybe that's what the author wanted, to keep you turning the pages. But at one point I was a bit like, oh, are we ever going to get anywhere with this case? However, it was an enjoyable read. I couldn't find anything else by that author, so I don't know if it's the first book. I've got a feeling it's 2 authors that write together. I'm not 100% sure on that. It was just when I was reading through about the author's name, that's the kind of impression that I got, that it was 2 people. If it is their first bit of work, it was very good. If they wrote anything else in the Pie & Mash Detective series, I would absolutely like to read that as well. So for a cosy mystery, it was a fun, nice, enjoyable read. Like I say, probably 4 stars I think is very fair. I would recommend, and I would read more. I think I'll leave this vlog here now then, because that's 3 books I've covered. I've done Experimental Magic by Iris Beaglehole, so a kind of like a cosy witchy book. I then did a bit more serious book, and I did a John Mars book, You Killed Me First. Very impressed by that, and would read more John Mars books in the future. And then I went to a cosy mystery, Pie and Mash Detective Agency by J.D. Brinkworth. I feel like I've had a good mixture of books in this. Next reading vlog, I will be doing the Joe Callahan, I'm sure it's called Leave No Trace. I started it last night. That's the 2nd book in the series to In the Blink of an Eye. Really good. I rated that book 5 stars when I read it. Really enjoyed it. So I'm hoping this one will be just as good. I'm also, because I can't wait any longer, going to start my Diabound book. I know my big read book for this month was meant to be, what's it called? It's behind my... that's it. Was meant to be Iron Flame. But since I've had the Diabound book come through, I can't think of anything else. So I'm going to read the 2 books at the same time. Diabound will no doubt take me longer. It's just that because Diabound is in a hardback book, it's actual physical book, I'll read that more in the day. And then on a night when I go to bed, I'd like to read my Kindle. I'm too lazy to hold a book when I'm trying to relax on a night. So no doubt I'll get through Leave No Trace quicker than I will Diabound. But Diabound I'll just pick up as and when I can throughout the month of May. Once I've finished Leave No Trace, I'll probably try and do 3 books again in my next reading vlog. Once I've finished Leave No Trace, not sure what book I'll pick up after that. I've got a few left still on my TBR, so I'll see what there is, pick another one up. But whichever one I do pick up, I'll obviously vlog and you'll see as I'm reading it. On that note then, I'll leave this vlog here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've read any of the books that I've covered in this vlog, please let me know what you thought of it. If you've now seen my comments on these books and you think, oh, I'd like to give that a go, again, let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. Hopefully, I shall see you all again very soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.